Hello and welcome back to Monster Hunter World, where today we are going to be fighting a tempered Lunastra, because she's already available, and in fact we're going to be doing it in a rather special quest. Because while I do have some investigations for tempered Luna, some of which aren't terrible, and one of which is, like, take a look at this. Faint 3 times, no other conditions. And 4 rewards. Or 4 rewards for faint 1 time, 2 players. They've got the same time limit, and the one that has the lower cart limit and lower player limit gives less money. What's the deal there, game? But yeah, we're not doing either of those. Instead, we're going to do a fun event. This one right here. As far as I'm aware, it's the only quest in the game where multiple tempered elder dragons can be in an area at the same time. And yeah, that alone makes this exciting enough for me to want to do it. We're going to be actually using 3 different armor sets over the course of this quest, and I'm going to use a voucher because I like getting stuff. But yeah, we're going to be starting off with this armor set right here. I'm using the Taroth Hammer Ice, and those are the skills we've got going on. So basically, it's all about doing lots of ice damage and critting for ice. Ordinarily, I would have I'd have 2 critical boost and 5 ice attack with this set, but I've regemmed some stuff because I want to not be fire blightable by Lunastra. Makes her a lot more pleasant to deal with. I've now dealt with 11 Lunastras, with 4 of them having been tempered. So this isn't going to be my first time at the Tempered Lunastra Rodeo, nor even at this particular quest, and we're actually going to use a voucher here. Because I actually do want to get elemental resistance, and I might as well just do a custom platter since there aren't many fresh veggies. So what do I want? I like Polisher. Acrobat, maybe? Yeah, Acrobat could be good. Though Black Belt could be better. Oh, actually, we want Groomer. That'll help with Blast, and also we will be fire blightable when we fight Teo, because I'm not going to be using the same set for him. So, Groomer. So that means we can squeeze in 1 more, because Feline Cliffhanger ain't great. And I think Acrobat is probably the way to go here. Yeah, let's just get that because we can. Yeah, that elemental res up large will actually make us unfire blightable against Teo if we survive until we are fighting him. So that's why we're going for that here. And now, I've already got my items all set up, so let's go do this. There's only 2 Elder Dragons on the field at any given time during this quest, so it's not as bad as it could be. And also it starts off being Luna and Nurg, which is very nice of them to do because those 2 don't have friendly interactions with each other, unlike Luna and Teo. So we are just going to go ahead, have us a cool drink, and a max potion. And now let's go play with Luna. Gonna start off with this Vitality Mantle. Also, hey, we've got 45 fire res. And we actually do want to aggro her while she's still in here, because in here we've got a lovely little slope to use. Yeah, basically my first goal is I want to get a mount, because then I can use that to get some solid hits in on her face. And the whole reason I'm using a hammer is because her face is the hammer weak point, whereas for cut, her weak point is her wings. Her tail also activates weakness exploit, but the wings and tail are generally significantly harder to hit than the face. So I just go hammer for her because that way we can just play with only the face and still do as much damage as possible. Because the face is really easy to reach, even though it is a little dangerous to hang out next to because it happens to be where the fire comes out. And we do not get to do our finisher. That's unfortunate. But hey, we get to do some damage. Don't expect perfect hammer play. I haven't hammered much in this game. There's definitely some things I'm not used to. I've noticed that Lunastra is very predictable, like, with where she's going to go. I've never seen her break from the order in which she visits each area while fighting her on either map. Like, she always follows the same path from area to area until she gets weak enough to be almost dead. But hey, it's fine that she's a little predictable. So she's enraged. Let's go ahead and put on this fireproof mantle, make fire even less of an issue. Okay, that was an interesting jump. Gonna try and get another ride. Ow. One issue I do have with using this armor set against Luna is it is not at all wind immune. And being wind immune against Lunastra is really helpful, actually. She does a lot more wind than you might think. Definitely prefer when I manage to get her in the face with those jumping attacks, though when she's facing away from the ledge, sometimes it's a little tougher. But then she points at the ledge, and it's great. And here comes her supernova, which I find fascinating, because it's got that first pulse, which is not the main damage source, but then all the little flames also pulse. And then it's that third pulse where the main damage comes in. And we just happen to get hit by every component of it. But thankfully, 45 fire res is enough to mitigate that a decent amount, especially when you've also got the fireproof mantle on. But consider how much damage we took when we have 45 fire res and are wearing a fireproof mantle. It's not a light amount of fire damage that happens there. All right, we got a mount. Hopefully this time we can do our finisher. I would definitely prefer being able to. Getting a solid chunk of KO damage on the face is just preferable in my eyes. Excellent. Clonk. Okay, we got a little shifted over, but that's fine. And since she's KO'd, it's Big Bang time. So yeah, we get to do lots of damage to her face using hammers, which is great. Her face is exactly the part I want to do damage to. I actually do need a Lunastra horn, because I've gotten 3 Lunastra gems, but I'm 1 Lunastra horn away from being able to make my 3rd Lunastra axe. And it's my goal to make every endpoint axe in the game, and I had actually accomplished that before Lunastra came along. So I need a 3rd Lunastra axe in order to go back to having accomplished that. Okay, she's going away. That's fine. Ooh, but she's going to hang out with Nurg. Well, with luck, they'll actually have a turf war, which is really neat to see. And also helpful for getting some damage in, though it looks like Nurg is walking away. Incidentally, this quest is fantastic for getting Tempered Elder Dragon quests, because if you just leave Nurg alone, he'll drop a bajillion tracks. That's kind of how he works. Like, the other Elder Dragons, if you leave them alone, they just decide to ploop themselves down and hang out for a little while rather than constantly dropping tracks. But Nurg doesn't have that kind of animation. He'll just drop track after track after track after track. So, yeah, you just leave him alone, play with Luna for a while, and then you'll have a ton of Nurg tracks to gather. And I'm going to go ahead and get away from this. Oh, Nurg's back. Okay, do I have time to jerky? I do. Alright, the two of them know that each other are there. Yo, Luna, you want to come over and fight the Nurg? Turf war, please. There we go. We actually don't want to be near them during this. Kind of saddens me that Nurg's theme takes precedence here. But yeah, now you see why we didn't want to be near them. And she is leaving. Ow. Incidentally, when they have a turf war, all of Nurg's breakable spikes will break because of that explosion, which is a nice touch. Oh, Luna's near death now. Just gonna grab this stone, because we're gonna want to use it. Okay, I'm glad she got in the way there. I thought she was still stuck in her looking around animation and wouldn't have been able to move, but she was able to move. Okay, now, ideally we can get both of these jerks with one spike, or one crystal, and we did. So, I guess since Nurg is right here, we'll get him with that. We didn't really get many face hits, but we did get some hits. That's something. Dang it. Why'd he jump over there? Uh-oh. Oh, hey. They interrupted each other? Alright. Good job knocking her down, Nurg. Now if you would kindly leave me alone for a moment. Alright, we got her horns. That's good. Incidentally, Nurg has a much easier time knocking Teo down than he does Luna. Which actually makes him really helpful when you're fighting him and Teo. Because Teo will just spend a lot of time on the floor. And we actually want to gather as many of these tracks as we can before we kill Nurg, because they will despawn after he's dead. And apparently she's back for some reason. I mean, hey, thanks, Nurg. Okay, now we're gonna need him to be nice to us for at least long enough to carve Luna, so there's that. Carve, please. I want to carve her, not grab crystal bursts. Please let me carve her. I don't want to grab this ammo. I want carves. He's only blind for so long. He's not blind anymore. Ow. All right, Nerg, let's get you off of her again and blind you again so that I can actually get my damn carves. Right, gotta actually equip the flash pods. There. Are you for reals? I want carves, not ammo. Please. Let me just get my last carve. No, I want to carve. Nerg, don't you dare. Thank you. Okay. Let's go ahead and use this. And hopefully Nerg will behave himself while I gather a bunch of footprints. Unfortunately, you can't use dung bombs on Elder Dragons. Otherwise, this would be a little easier. Nerg, if you're hungry, why don't you eat Lunastra? You're supposed to eat Elder Dragons, aren't you? Looks like he's trying to kill her when she's already dead. Nerg, that's not how this works. Unfortunately, Nerg is the type of monster who will follow you from area to area, but he's just decided to leave, so that's fine by me. So now we can actually easily find all the footprints. And more freaking crystal burst. But yeah, just look at all these tracks Nerg has left all over the place. Easily, he is the best way to farm Tempered Elder Dragon quests. Just all these tracks everywhere. I know there's more back the other way, but I think there might still be more in this area. So I'm just gonna run around a little bit. Yep, here's some. Actually, let's use this Vital Lily. Free heals are nice. Alright, now that we seem to be done in this area, what I'm gonna do is... Actually, let's just... Wait. I'm gonna go this way. I was worried about potentially getting Nerg's attention, but it seems he went up top, which I don't think I've ever seen him up there. But it's convenient that he's up there, because that means we can grab all the stuff here without a care in the world. And Teo is on the scene now. And we're actually going to be playing with Teo last. Actually, no, I should play with Teo before Nerg. Because as much as Nerg is helpful against Teo, like keeping him distracted and whatnot, it's actually better for me if I deal with Teo while I still have total immunity to Fire Blight. So that's what I'm going to do. Though I am going to real quick go to where Teo came from, just to make sure whether or not he dropped any tracks for me. Any tracks? I see some fur. And we're going to grab this footprint first, because when your meter is full, then gathering a large track that gives an investigation is guaranteed to give a tempered investigation if it was from a tempered monster. So yeah, we grab a footprint to fill the meter, and then we grab the large tracks. Looks like Teo might have hung out over here for a little bit, maybe? Yes. He dropped a footprint in the lava, because that's how lava works. And I know it's hot in here, but I don't really have to care right now. Alright, let's go change our equipment so that we are ready to play with Teo. I'm not going to spend so much time dealing with tracks from this point onward. So here, I got this set all ready to go. There's the skills. Ordinarily, there would be more speed eating and more weakness exploit and one more point of something or other. But because we're dealing with Teo, I wanted fire res. So let's go deal with Teo. Let's also drink another cool drink because we need it. Hello, Teo. How's it going? You doing all right? Alright, so since he is not super aura'd right now, I'm just going to use this Vitality Mantle. Once we see that Blasty Aura get more Blasty, then we're going to use the Fireproof Mantle. Because when it's more Blasty, then we're at risk of a Supernova happening, and if a Supernova happens and I'm not ready to flash him out of the sky, then we're going to have a bad time. And I don't like having bad times. Alright, he's ready to come down. No finisher, though. Thankfully, with Teo, his face is a weak point for cut damage, so don't gotta worry about anything like we did with Luna. Ow. Ow. Actually, I should get this flash ready. Because when it does come time for him to supernova, we want the flash to be ready to go, not one of those like, oh, it's gonna be ready soon type of deals. We want it to be ready to go right then and there. And I need more stamina. I don't mind being on the tilt, though. Let's blast off it before he sweeps it. Ow. Thanks for just completely missing me there. Okay, I think Fireproof Mantle now is fine. Ow. Oh boy, stunned again. And there's the supernova. Hopefully we're far enough away. Okay, good. If only I wasn't stunned, we would have been able to flash him down, get some real hits on him. But hey, this para is a fine substitute. Dang it. If it wasn't for the slope, I might have actually tagged his tail with that for the zero sum. But hey, at least I managed to explode on his face and knock him down. It's actually really nice that he and Nerg are not playing together. Last time I did this quest, which was also the first time I did this quest, he and Nerg were hanging out together for almost the whole time. My buddy and I were fighting the Nerg first. And It was nice and hilarious that the Nerg was basically focusing on the Teo and kept him knocked down for like 90% of the fight, but honestly, I do prefer fighting them separately rather than together. Sounds like we just got an Elder Seal. And Teo is going to say hello to Nerg. Which, hey, if we can get a second Turf War here, I wouldn't mind that. Ow. Ooh, nice. So this Turf War we don't have to worry so much about. There's not going to be an explosion. Might as well gather this while they're letting, or not. Okay, looks like Teo had enough. It's gonna hurt. Alright, let's stop trying to gather these thorns. And just follow the Teo. Because we are playing with him first, after all. Hopefully Nerg doesn't follow us, though I'm sure he will, being Nerg. It's kind of his deal. Oh, he didn't follow us. How nice. Looks like Teo's going to be ready to supernova again pretty soon. Oh, he just changed to his Flame Aura instead of Blast. Makes me sad that my Fireproof Mantle just wore off. But it's okay, we're still Fire Blight immune. Even if fire damage is not going to be decreased. Okay. We got him. Now I got to make more flashes just in case that happens again. Thankfully I did bring flash bugs. So let's go ahead and make those. And let's also make these. Never hurts to make your Mega Potions a little early. Because that way you know you've got them ready. Ow. Alright, he's limping. That is fine by me. So we're gonna go ahead and skip past Nerg. Oh, why are we still counted as in combat? Teo's gone, Nerg's in the other area. Hang on, Dragon Pot? There it is. So we'll jump down here instead. I would have just fast traveled to the base camp and then gone from there to where Teo sleeps, but oh well, guess I wasn't allowed to. So these bombs will be very likely to actually take out Teo's horns for us. That's good. Because we do want his horns taken out just because. I should probably sharpen just in case he survives a little while after. There we go. So, here you go, buddy. Some bombs for you. Hot off the presses. I think that might be a little far. Nope, it works. Alright, please die. Thank you. I don't like dealing with Teo while he's in here because of all the eruptions that happen. Now, because Tempered Nerg is a pushover, we're not actually going to be using a survival set for him. We're going to be using a straight-up damage set. So, once again, we're changing equipment, and I'm using my Taroth Axe Thunder for this one. So, there's the skills I got. Crit element. All that stuff about doing more thunder damage and critting with the thunder damage. Because Nerg is freaking allergic to thunder damage. And we've got the Rocksteady Mantle and Affinity Booster. Because those two things let us do more critting. And also, this set doesn't have any wind res or earplugs or anything of the sort. So Rocksteady Mantle covers both that and also helps our survivability a little bit. Usually what I do is I ride him once, drop the Affinity Booster while he's down, and then once he gets back up, I swap over to Rocksteady so I can just keep the pressure up on him. And usually that's enough to basically melt a Nerg. And we don't get to do our finisher this time. Unfortunate. I usually am fairly reliant on getting the finisher, because that way we can really easily do a zero-sum discharge on his face while he's still down. But looks like he's cooperating here. Usually he'll enrage and roar or something, but I guess he didn't want to do that this time. So now we just get to go to town. Too bad for you, I've got Rocksteady. So yeah, we're just going to be doing lots of damage to him, focusing on the parts where he's got the white spikes. Because those parts take more damage, and he's already near death. I mean, sure, part of that was the 2 turf wars, but the other part of that was just us doing lots of damage to him in a short amount of time. I'm gathering these simply because they're on the way. We're not going to catch up to him before he gets to his nest anyway. So there's not really much reason for me to really try and stick on him. As unfortunate as it is, I really don't like fighting him in there, because for whatever reason, he's way more aggressive when he's in there. And our Rocksteady Mantle is going to wear off before we get there. Should have grabbed some more Mega Barrel Bombs while we were at the base camp, but whatever. It's just Nerg. And hey, this way we can say that I managed to do this without ever grabbing new items. I only grabbed new armor and weaponry. And there goes the Rocksteady Mantle. And let's plop that right there. Sure, they're not megas, but they still do damage. This is a decently sized Nerg. Ow. Buddy, you're supposed to hit a wall first, not me. That was really odd. I don't think I've ever seen him go for a player before a wall. Ow. Yeah, unfortunately, not having our Rocksteady Mantle means we do have to worry about his damage output. Not for terribly long, mind you, but for the duration that he's still alive. Though, considering he's already dropped his piercing pods, which he only does when he's really, really low. He just died from spikes. Good job, nerd. It's It's always interesting when a spike monster dies because of spikes that it caused to fall. But yeah, we just did that quest with no carts. Sure, it took us a while, but hey, it's a fun quest. I like it. Plus, you got to see 3 Elder Dragons in one quest. And 2 Turf Wars, which I always appreciate seeing more Turf Wars. Especially when one of them involves a Nerg getting exploded. And with that, you've actually, on this channel, seen all the Turf War / Bond things that Lunastra has. Wait, no. The Kush one wasn't on the channel. Though I did upload a video of it to my Twitter. It looks like we got a Teo gem. And we did get a Luna horn, so I'm glad about that. And that is going to be it for this episode. Join us next time when we're probably going to be doing the Arc-Tempered Kieran, which comes out in, like, what, 2 weeks? No, like 1 week. So, yeah, join us next time for Arc-Tempered Kieran. See you then, friends.